Robin.
DMC's birthday, good for you, E-Rock. Who cares? Which one is DMC?
The black one.
Wait, there's Ron.
Oh.
That's Rev, right? Rev Ron. Not Revlon. Rev Ron.
Rev Run. Rev Ron.
And then it's the other
Rev
guy.
Ron.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. 47 years old today.
47. He's an OG.
He's not even that old. He's been around our entire lives, and he's only 47. That's weird.
But he's still an OG.
OJ.
He a OG, yo. OG.
The Snookie got in trouble, huh?
The Snookster? What was she doing now?
You don't watch Jersey Shore at all?
I couldn't fucking care.
Last season there was
no way.
Who gives a care?
Last season there was some good shit going on.
Was there?
I think so, yeah.
Really?
And this year already, you got Ronnie and the Sitch fighting for real, because they never really fight in the house. It's all the girls fight, but the guys never fight.
Yeah.
You knew it was going to happen eventually. And Ronnie looks like a fucking roided out guy. And the situation looks like a guy that doesn't back down. And finally they went at it. And the situation left the house all fucked up and had to go to the hospital.
Oh.
So that's we haven't seen that yet, but that's the story's made the paper. And now you got Snookie crashing into a Italian cop car. And the Italians didn't want the Jersey Shore kids over there.
Well,
even though they're not kids, by the way, most of them are pushing 30, if not
they're
30 already.
Adults, yes.
They MTV kind of threw this at us like, oh, it's kids just out of college trying to find their way. No, most of these guys are pushing 30.
Now, how did she run into a cop car?
I don't know. Supposedly she wasn't drunk, but they gave her a breathalyzer. So,
and you get arrested if you run into people over there?
Well, fuck, two of the cops they put neck braces on. So, but they said it was a low speed crash, fender bender.
Yeah, even that though. Unless here in the United States they don't put you in jail if you.
No, I don't think they put her in jail. I think they just kind of brought her in.
Brought her in
and checked her out a little bit.
Checked her out, made sure she wasn't drunk.
I believe so, yeah. It's one of those stories. I read the first couple paragraphs, and then I'm bored.
I think you're done with it.
Right, why am I reading about Snookie is what you say to yourself.
Snookie.
Because we have to be up on some of this stuff for the radio show. There are Jersey fucking Shore people out there that listen to us.
Yeah, I guess that's your job, because I can't possibly fucking tune into that for a second.
I can't even feign
but
interest in those retards.
I know Snookie because, she's been in the news and things like that, and I know of the people from Jersey Shore, and I think that's all I need to know.
We've had a bunch in.
I can't,
Vinny's cool.
I can't.
Situation turned out cool, and JWoww,
she was very nice.
Who I didn't really like, was really nice.
Yeah. I just can't bring myself to give any bit of a fuck about what they're doing.
Oh, I don't care, but...
And like any storyline, I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah.
It's the oddest thing.
Well, it's page 3 in the paper today. That's how important that is for America.
Well, that's how different we are, too, in that respect, because I noticed last night, it's like you tweeted that you were watching Jerseylicious.
Yeah, that was a goof.
And
that was a goof tweet.
At the same time, I was watching Gettysburg on the History Channel.
Oh, God.
So it's like, okay, I can see where this is going.
I didn't want any knowledge. I had a long weekend myself, and
just want to... Just want to relax.
Long weekend, nothing to really discuss. Just a good, solid Memorial Day weekend.
It is nice to be able to have.
I was in the ocean already.
Good days like that.
That fucking ocean is still cold. I don't care.
It's fucking
I don't care what the
freezing.
calendar's saying. Fuck that.
Fuck the northeast waters. Fuck it. It's green and it's cold.
Nah, the ocean. Nah, man. Where do you go?
I don't.
Where do you go?
I go on a boat, and when I look over, it looks green.
We're lucky. We got some good oceans out there. Yeah. Our piece of the ocean out there on Long Island is good.
You know what it is, though? It's
a good color.
Well, it's not blue water. It's sort of gray. It's a weird color, the ocean.
It depends where you go.
Because you ever see
when you get some clear ocean, I'm telling you right now.
When the waves are breaking and you're looking through it, it's like green.
Yeah, that's like...
Yeah, it's the normal color. I'm not saying it's from pollution, but it's not...
Jones Beach, see, down near Jones Beach, you get the gray, muddy-looking water.
Yeah.
Go a little further out east, and it starts getting into some colors you could hang out with.
But it is greenish. like the Caribbean water's blue.
Oh, right.
Like, that's green.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean it's dirty, but it's not like the fucking, Turks and Caicos water.
You could only go in water that has that blue,
That's it.
that powder blue look
Dude,
to it.
that's the only fucking water I will go in.
You ever go all the
that
way out
isn't
east and see what the ocean looks like? It's pretty nice.
But even
It's clear.
even in late August, it's fucking freezing.
No, not really.
Oh God, I need 90s.
Around Montauk, I'm looking at a picture of Montauk. That water never gets fucking warm, and it's never summer in Montauk. You're always wearing a sweatshirt when you go out there. It doesn't matter what
The
fucking
wind,
day it is.
It's always windy.
It's windy. The water is like putting your feet in ice water.
Yeah.
No joke. Like ice water. It's uncomfortable how cold it is. And it's always kind of cold out there, man.
Cold ass fuck
Because
water.
it blows off the fucking water and just the temperatures stay kind of down out there.
I like it. It's an odd thing. It's creepier than Caribbean water. It's like because it's dark and deep. Ugh. You can't go. You go like 5 feet out on a Long Island beach, and the drop off is into a 1,000-foot chasm. You're like, what just happened to my beach?
You can thank Shoreham fucking nuclear power plant for that. The North Shore beaches got destroyed when they decided to dredge for that thing.
And then you get the Caribbean. You're fucking walking out, and it's like, hey, great. I can barely see the beach, and I'm up to my waist.
Right.
And it's nice, warm blue water. See everything.
But you can see the monsters.
Long Island, it's like, all right, these waves are crashing like fucking the end of the world. You got to walk over rocks before you could even get to the sandy part in the water. And then, it drops off into the Marianas Trench.
But I think you're describing North Shore beaches.
No, that's like South Shore is like
Long
that,
Island
too.
Sound, North Shore beaches, they're very rocky and a lot of horse crabs and crap.
I know that.
But the South Shore ocean beaches are much different. There's a lot
the
of
South
sand.
Shore beaches are sandy, but once you go into the water, you could go one day and it'll be like, oh, this is nice, and then you go another day, the same spot, and you're walking on fucking jagged, rocky lava things.
Oh, that's just medical supplies.
It's
That's all.
Needles.
They sweep that shit up, though. Well, where were we at? Oh, Jerseylicious. Yeah, I did watch
Jerseylicious.
I did watch.
That's the Jersey Shore ripoff show.
It's
Was it
the Gatsby. I don't know why.
Were they trying to be?
I don't know why I
Were they
watched.
trying to do a Jersey Shore thing though?
It's sort of like, Jersey's hot right now, man. But supposedly Jerseylicious filmed before Jersey Shore, and then I think what happened was people. Do you really want to know this? Because I did read up on this.
This is the backstory.
All right, and then they kind of shelved it. They almost were like, who's going to watch this shit? And then Jersey Shore got so big, I think that's when they took it off the shelf. Like, oh, another show that shows how ridiculous Jersey can be, by the way. Because when I drive around Jersey, I don't see Jersey Shore shit, and I don't see Jerseylicious shit. I see pretty much normal fucking people.
I see the turnpike.
Yeah.
And then wherever I'm going.
I don't know where this Jersey Shore, phenomenon is happening. I guess you got to be younger and you got to be in the clubs.
Yeah, I think the one time we got a little hint of it was when we did that appearance at that place right there on the Jersey Shore. What the fuck?
Oh, and
remember that?
Was it
The bar in
Belmore? Belmore.
What was it called?
DJs. That's right.
DJs.
We saw a little of that.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, there was a lot of shirtless fucking hair gel. All that shit was going on.
That was pre Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
So. Yeah, we don't have to talk about Jerseylicious. That was a goof tweet that then stupid people go, then why'd you tweet it? Fucking idiots.
I did start another marathon.
I had a dumb Sean Kingston joke, and this guy calls Sean Kingston jet skied into a fucking thing, right? So I go, Sean Kingston's last tweet, somebody call 911, which is one of his hit fucking songs.
Yeah.
And it got a nice, it got, people liked the tweet, And this one guy goes, if he had time to tweet that, wouldn't he just call him? And the guy was dead serious.
I actually believe that too. I don't know the song. I just read that tweet.
And you thought he actually tweeted?
I didn't. It didn't make sense to me why we'd have his cell phone in the water, but I did. I
was just playing off one of his hit songs. Somebody call 911. I mean, the guy fucking.
Somebody call 911.
Yeah. I can hear that. Sounds nice.
In person.
E-Rock, why are you fading this out as it's obvious that Ant's trying to find something?
Well,
Yeah, why, E-Rock? Answer the boss.
because the clips weren't sounding that loud. That's why I brought the music down.
Oh, because we weren't playing any.
In person.
Is that better?
That's the,
Can't find it.
See, yeah, it would have been nice if I could have gotten the, yeah. All right, fuck it. never mind. Yeah, well.
Those
I was
Jets-
having some Twitter fun.
Yeah.
Over the weekend with the Casey Anthony thing.
Holy
Holy motherfucker,
I'm
are
enjoying
people dumb as hell? Oh, just dumb. And it's all these fucking bitches.
Yeah, women are the worst. Women shouldn't be allowed to Twitter.
Because they have no sense of sarcasm.
Oh, they suck.
A sense of humor, any kind of... Everything is literal. Everything is literal to them. So my whole thing is we've been watching this Casey Anthony trial. She's accused of killing her 2-year-old back in 2008. And what's going on is the prosecution trying to show what a horrid mom she was. Right after this child went missing, she didn't say she was missing. She was out partying, doing a hard body contest, and just not acting like a concerned mom of a missing 2-year-old. They wind up a few months later finding the kid skeletal remains in a shallow grave in the woods with duct tape around the skeleton's mouth and shit like that. Obviously, the kid was murdered. And obviously, in my eyes, I think this woman did it.
Whoa. Obviously, she was murdered, but that's it could still be an accidental death that she was covering up.
Right. That's what the defense is going for.
But the body looked like it was murdered.
Body looked like could have been murder or something. But yeah.
Either way, she's guilty as fuck.
Shenanigans.
It depends on how guilty, I guess, is
Just
what they're trying to figure out.
shenanigans. Yeah. Shenanigans are going on.
Gotcha.
So I've been tweeting with the hashtag Casey Anthony because I know all these people that follow that hashtag. And I've just been saying, please, this Memorial Day, let's remember Casey Anthony is unjustly imprisoned. Our thoughts go out to her. And then any woman that was getting all uppity about it, I'd be like, you women are just jealous that her good looks, which just feeds on a few things there with women. Oh, they don't like that one.
Oh, I didn't know you were following the hashtag just to go.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
And they were pissed. One is like, why don't you remember Kaylee, the child, and stuff? And I would go, it's obvious. And this one was like, how do you not know I'm kidding at this point? I said, it was obviously a suicide. A 2-year-old killed itself and wrapped duct tape around its face. And that got people really pissed. And every 6-8 hours or so, I would just tweet another thing about Casey Anthony and how innocent she is. And I start seeing names that I would never see, like they're not familiar at all. They're all women names, 99% women. And one was really funny. She's like, who the hell is this Anthony Cumia? And why does he have 65,000 followers? They have no clue of the show, just nothing. They probably listen to some morning zoo thing, and I love when they do their phony phone call, and I'm keeping tabs on this Casey Anthony trial. And they're all the legal experts, and I am just annoying the shit out of them, and it couldn't make me happier. So today, when the trial starts up again, I'm just going to be tweeting total fallacies.
Live tweeting.
Yeah, live tweeting.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the trial. Here's my real take on this thing. I think she does have a chance of getting off the hook, which is weird. Yeah, I do.
Why?
I really think she does. I've been watching this thing. Now,
wouldn't that be,
again, like NASCAR, I'm no lawyer, so.
Wouldn't that be cray-cray?
It would be a tad cray-cray, but stranger things have happened. Here's what I see. The defense
wait.
is... Why?
Did you eat your whole tub of blueberries, too?
Yeah. Why?
Kenny gave us enough... Sorry, because I'm looking at Jimmy. He's doing the exact same thing as me. I apologize. We're going to get back to it. He gives us enough blueberries to feed a whole fucking family. I ate all mine and let Jimmy eat all this.
I like
What? Why would you eat them all? Save some for later.
No,
now or laters.
It's a tub of blueberries that you would have in your fridge for probably 4 days. That people would just take a handful and put it on their cereal.
Yeah.
Sorry, I really just fucked you up, and I'll admit it. But I just thought it was hilarious that you're doing whatever. Wow, this is really bad. Okay.
No, it's
your take on Casey Anthony.
I see the defense throwing out a bunch of different scenarios. She was molested as a child, and that made her cover up her emotions so that when her daughter did maybe die accidentally and they got rid of her, she was able to cover it up by just going about her life because that's how she survived while she was being molested by her father. It was an accidental death. They're running through a bunch of different scenarios. The father did it. There's a lot of stuff there. But then you start thinking,
aren't lawyers reprehensible?
Yeah, they are. They're horrible.
I was about to say that because it's not about
horrible.
It's not about innocence anymore. It's like taking this person and figuring out, okay, what can we use here to get her off?
Right.
Which you just described
And
perfectly.
the thing is, but here's the thing. No matter how ridiculous the story is, it has nothing to do with coming up with a viable scenario. You come up with as many as you can. Like, the defense doesn't have to have a story and a timeline, especially with this, because there's really no DNA in this case. There's no timeline where she needs an alibi because there's a weird time of death thing where, it's a little vague where she went missing, so they don't have any of that. Or need it because the defense doesn't have to prove anything. The burden of proof always on the prosecution. So the prosecution has to come up with a story that makes the jury go, wow, she did it. There's been no bombshells here. They're going, well, she's a horrid mother. Yes. And the defense attorney in closing statements is going to be, yeah, my client is a fucking awful mom. Terrible. But that doesn't make her a murderer.
What scares me is you could use that to her advantage. She is such a bad mom that she wasn't watching the kid properly.
Right.
And that led to someone being able to freaking do what they did.
Accidental death. But to get her on a capital murder charge like this with what the prosecution's shown so far, you want to open big. You want to get the jury, fixated on some kind of... here's what she did, here's a timeline, here's the forensics, and you're just like, oh my God, this bitch did it. Mm-hmm. They don't have any of that, and I think it's showing.
Circumstantial.
It's a lot of circumstantial, and the defense is throwing so many different distraction scenarios out at the jury that the jury's got to be going, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So they're either, if they do have a mistrial with this one, I think I kind of see them retrying it as maybe a manslaughter kind of a case, not a capital murder case, something a little lower that a jury can go, all right, I could buy that without it being a premeditated murder. She wants to get rid of her kids so she could party kind of a thing. So I think she might slip this one.
Makes it tougher to find her guilty, right?
And she's a semi-attractive white trash, white broad.
But knowing that jury has to decide on her life.
Yeah, all they need is one guy to hang out in the jury and go, no, I'm not fucking voting yes on this.
Gotcha.
And then you get a new trial. Maybe they lower the rap down on her. Maybe they plea out something for a manslaughter or
maybe
neglect.
Or speeding.
Right, a speeding ticket.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm looking at now because I'll be watching this trial. I'm all in on this one. That's reality television to me. She loses, she dies.
Yeah.
David F. from Kansas City writes, nobody gives a shit about blueberries. I said that, David.
Oh, shit.
See, I said that. You stupid fucking parrot. I went with a blueberry thing that obviously was failing miserably, and I bailed, you idiot. I told you it wasn't working.
I disagree that it was failing.
Dope.
I disagree.
I think that in the middle of the murdered child thing, people were curious about our fruit.
Fruit.
Look, it was a long weekend. We're all a bit tired around the edges. But this stupid
dragging around the edges.
But this stupid dope is telling me no one gives a shit about blueberries. No, I told you no one gave a shit about blueberries. I was trying something that failed miserably, you idiot. How were the blueberries, though, Jimmy? Good?
They were very
good?
good. They're actually, all kidding aside, They're better than they've been. They're plumper and they're juicier.
Oh.
They're not sour.
Just like a vagina you like, plump and juicy.
No, I like it when it stinks a little. I like plump. I like plump and juicy, but I want it to have a little stink on it.
A little stink on it?
Yeah, like when a girl walks by.
Speaking of
I
the girl
want
walking
flies
by,
to at least look.
I will interrupt so you can look at what's walking
She's
by.
wearing a little skirt.
Holy
I like
shit.
pointing to like the. I like doing this thing where I wave my hand over the door and point like we're looking at the. Because that needs to be taken care of. All right, now she's
Who
passed,
comes
so we
to
can
work
look.
like that?
She's hot.
But she is
Her
wearing
dress is painted
a
on.
booty. She's wearing a booty
And she's-
dress.
Oh my God.
And like they say in Philly, she's got some juice
She's got some juice.
in the ass. They call it juice.
She is sporting a
Holy
booty dress, yo.
What an ass on her.
How do you come to
Booty
work like that?
dress, booty clap. Do a booty clap.
She's lovely.
Huh?
She's lovely.
David F. is apologizing.
Yes.
David F. saying, I was typing before you said that, sir. All right, fair enough.
She must. That's
Fair
true.
Oh, what an
Travis
ass
just
on
wrote.
her, dude.
She must think we talk about the same thing every day. The door jam over the door, because I'm constantly pointing at it when she walks by, so we can all look in that direction.
And that music from Caddyshack should play every time she walks by. Lacey Underall, that music they play
Oh,
with the
right,
horns
yeah,
when
yeah,
she
yeah.
first walks by or whatever. She's got a...
She's fucking amazing. What a juicy rump.
Now, Ann,
Juicy.
does that confuse you? Because she's a bit ghetto. She has a little ghetto in her.
I'm not really into the ghetto
I don't think
look.
she's full ghetto, but she's got a little ghetto.
Nah, I think she got a lot of ghetto in her.
Nah, she got a little ghetto, but went to a nice black college somewhere.
Yeah?
Type of ghetto, yeah.
One of those colleges like that the Huxtables go to.
Yeah, a respectable black college. Not the 13th grade.
No, not community college.
No, a respectable black college.
Okay.
We should try to figure out what her profile is and then have her come in here.
And
She won't come in. Shade will probably won't let her come in.
Yeah, I don't think she.
They hate us.
No, don't call them that. The station.
Yes.
Why do they hate us?
I don't know or care.
Who's the main guy over there?
I don't
we see
know
him?
or care. Probably because that time we had Marion Barry come in or whatever. They're mad about that, but fuck them.
Jeez.
Who cares?
How about you mad at Marion Barry? That never happened.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you see the Black Biker Fest going on down there in South Beach? Wowie kazowie.
Just what crime, right?
Holy
Of course.
mother of fuck.
Wasn't there a shooting?
Shootings, stabbings, rapes, robberies. The businesses literally board up their fucking thing like a hurricane's coming.
South Beach?
Yeah, South Beach.
As in Ocean...
Myrtle Beach.
What is it called? Ocean Drive or whatever down there?
It was Myrtle Beach. I guess
Oh,
there's
Myrtle
a
Beach.
South
South
Beach.
Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina.
Oh, no, I got the Myrtle Beach story.
Myrtle Beach,
You just
yeah.
confused me by saying South Beach.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach, they do this. I was surprised. South Beach wouldn't allow...
Black Bike Week.
They wouldn't allow a bike week down there.
They call Myrtle Beach Murder Beach for that time that they're in there. This, I swear, I thought it was a clip from Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, I thought that they had been working on new graphics for GTA, and it looked amazing because you just hear crashing, gunfire, sirens. It's hilarious. Oh, there she goes, walking back down the...
Good God.
What a juicy ass. You can't tell me that it's harassment to look at that through the window. You want if you're
Not wearing a skirt like that.
You're wearing a
wiggling.
short skirt.
She should be wearing fucking Dickies if she wants us to not look.
And she's wiggling from side to
Dickies.
side. She knows how to work that ass.
She can walk. She can walk.
She is confident about her ass.
Women do ruin Twitter. They're good in skirts, but they destroy Twitter.
Yes.
I was making fun of the Muslim girl who was stoned to death.
Oh, because she came in 7th.
Yeah, and of
in a
course.
beauty contest.
And of course, the fucking some woman's like, I know you're a comedian and all, but you should watch a stoning, and then we'll see.
I have.
Of course, I have.
Right.
Seen worse.
I got yelled at for because I was saying Casey Anthony, we ought to keep her in mind during this Memorial Day weekend and memorialize her and stuff. And then some guy got all mad. This is about the soldiers, and it's not a thing to make any kind of fun. I listened to your show. If you listen to the show, then take it for what it's worth, fucko. Realize,
hey,
I understand Memorial Day. I fucking take it to heart. I grieve for the war dead, and I watch a lot of great documentaries that make me feel like proud, and then I make a joke about fucking some woman murdering her kid and throw Memorial Day in there. No troops, no nothing, just the holiday itself. And you get all mad at me? Stop it.
I could complete the trifecta. People got mad at me because of the Sean Kingston thing. Sean Kingston, he crashes into a bridge on his jet ski.
Yeah.
And they love riding their jet skis really fast these days. I see them going up and down the Hudson River. It's crazy. So he fucking crashes into a bridge, right? So then everyone started a Twitter trend that says, pray for Sean Kingston. So I write, sorry, I'm not praying for the guy. I'd rather pray for the people in Joplin because they weren't going willy-nilly on a jet ski. and I did use the word or the phrase willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly.
And man, do they come out of the woodwork. Like, I'm insensitive. I'm like, first of all, I don't know who Sean Kingston is personally. And second of all, he did it to himself.
Yeah.
He wasn't like... following the rules of jet skiing when it happened.
No.
It sucks for him, obviously, and it's a tragedy. But I'd rather pray for fucking people that were just going about their lives and a fucking tornado took out the entire town.
Yeah, maybe that is a little more important.
It's that whole weird God thing when athletes, go, thank God for this.
I want to thank God. Yeah. I want to thank God.
If I was going to pray, it wouldn't be for a guy that was just reckless on a jet ski.
No.
But, man, they got fucking pissed, calling me insensitive. And then I want to say to them, do you know him?
Yeah.
So if you don't know the person, it doesn't fucking matter in your life.
I like that. He's in our prayers. It's like, do you have to write down shit every day of who you want to pray for that night?
Well,
is that what you do before you go to bed and say your little prayers?
Well, church people do.
Do they write it down? It's like, I got to remember this guy in my prayers.
Yeah, oh yeah, church people do.
Now I lay me down to sleep.
And then they hand it in to the priest. Do you want to know what happens?
Really?
The churchgoers.
Yeah.
They write who they want to pray for.
Yeah.
And then they hand in their list. And then the priest decides which ones to announce in church.
Do they get extra special prayer help, or
they edit the fucking list?
They edit the list
and go, this one's not as bad as this one. This one's got cancer, but not as bad as this guy's cancer.
It's like, I got bumped.
This guy died, but he was old. This kid died, and he was overseas. And they figure it out, and then they read the list, the edited list of prayers that we're all supposed to pray for.
I wonder what the criteria is for editing.
I don't know. I would love to talk to a priest that is willing to talk about that. Here she comes again. Could we have, ass walking music? Do we have any, sultry fucking...
Yeah, dirty old town.
Dirty old town.
Oh, you want an ass walking song? I know a good ass walking song.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
She does not even look in here either.
Because she know that, but that's how you know she knows we're looking,
knows.
and she's fine with it.
She's fine with it.
When she walks by, though, we should just play. Him got a good boy phone, and him naughty boy phone, naughty boy phone, and him good boy phone.
Singing that all week.
Him got him good boy phone, and him naughty boy phone.
There's a question there.
Him naughty boy phone, and him good boy phone.
It's all in a question now.
It sure is. I didn't want to do the hardcore reggae one.
No, that's hardcore.
There's the hardcore reggae one, too. Which I really don't want to do, because that will get stuck in people's heads when they hear reggae.
So anyway, we got the list of crimes in Myrtle Beach.
Yes.
So it was Black Bike Week, I guess.
Yeah, they do something called, it's actually Urban Week, Opie. Let's not, don't pin this on any one race.
Is it all black guys and their bitches?
Yes. But it's called Urban Weekend.
And the article used the word black. I was so surprised. The article about it on Drudge Report used the word black, which is good.
Yeah.
And are the women called old ladies like the white biker gangs?
No, they're hoes.
No, is that the proper...
Shorty?
Is that the proper term for bikers?
I don't know.
Black bikers.
I don't know what black bikers call their chicks.
I'm sure it's not old ladies.
There's a simple word.
All right, I was trying to get the real knowledge out there, too. I wonder, because they're not using the same term.
I wonder, too. That's something I don't know.
And I don't think they go whores either. Or hoes, excuse me. Well,
yeah.
Here's the list of crimes that happened during
Urban Week.
Urban Bike Week.
Yeah.
Right?
Not to be confused with, Keith Urban concert. I think it would be different if it was an urban weekend with Keith Urban.
How desperate is
he's country?
How desperate is your little city or town that you want to bring, Urban Bike Week to your
Bike
town?
Week. Well, there was an open letter that one of the citizens wrote to the town, to City Hall, saying, how many years are we going to put up with this when no other group, if they were to come to the city and ravage it with this kind of crime and violence, they would never be invited back. But in this politically correct age, this town has to suffer on a yearly basis. Citizens have to worry about their safety. Businesses have to worry about their livelihood because you can't just tell these people you're not allowed to come back here.
Well, who decides this?
The city, because they think
Yeah, but what guy? The mayor, the congressman, congresswoman, who actually decides this?
Would be very interesting to find out who that person is and what their agenda is.
Oh, yeah, I would love to know.
And this shit happens all the time. When I was growing up and went down to spring break, Fort Lauderdale was the place to be. Mm-hmm. I've told some Fort Lauderdale stories over the years.
Yeah.
And it brought in a lot of money to Fort Lauderdale. Thousands and hundreds of thousands of kids going down, spending money, getting drunk, whatever, just feeding the economy. And then I don't know where they're at today, but I do remember Fort Lauderdale finally said, we don't want this shit anymore. So what they did for a good 2 or 3 spring breaks, they just beat the shit out of kids, literally, getting the word out that we don't want you anymore, arresting everybody for the most minor shit because they didn't know how else to stop it.
Yeah,
because you can't just ban it. But you make it where, look, this isn't fun anymore.
It's just not a fun place to go.
So then the college kids started dispersing and going elsewhere. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Fort Lauderdale still has spring breakers, but it wasn't like in the mid '80s when I went down there.
They were talking about how these festivals, these gatherings and stuff bring money in to the city.
Well, that's what you balance out.
Yeah, but the thing is, and what this person said in his open letter was, it might bring money in, but at what cost? Because for the time they're there, and before that and after that, you're losing out on businesses are losing out on revenue from people that would come there and shop because they're not going near the place. Convention halls are empty because no one wants to fucking have a convention during this fucking time where it's rampant violence. And they know there's going to be violence.
I like the political correctness angle, but I wonder if, believe it or not, this is still bringing in a lot of money. I wonder.
I don't know.
Obviously, businesses are
not in tips.
Obviously, certain businesses are closing down, and those businesses are suffering. But I wonder if overall it's still bringing enough money where they're just dealing with the bullshit.
No, it's political.
I just want to throw that on there. I don't know. I don't know if it's just.
I think it's PC because if you say if the cop was to come out and go, look, there's more crime when they're here, because then people would go, what about white bikers? If you were to come out and say, like that state trooper who got fired when Christie Whitman was the governor, to come out and go, well, there's more crime when this group is here, you'd be fired for telling the truth. Yeah. You'd be fucking fired if you were like a cop and came out and go, look, I'm sorry, but these black bikers, there's a much higher crime rate. You'd be fired for being
What if
insensitive.
every day a group of Irish gathered in Myrtle Beach and just
Myrtle Beach.
Hi, Myrtle Beach. I've got a goodbye phone.
Oh, he's got a goodbye phone and a natty bye phone. A natty bye phone and a goodbye phone.
I got it.
I like the Irish one. What if they were to gather and every year there was massive violence and stuff? There'd be more people speaking out.
I think I need to push back on this one a little bit because didn't they get rid of Freaknik in Atlanta? And that was a complete black college thing.
Atlanta's a black town. It's different.
Yeah,
that's a black city.
That's true. It's a black city.
That would be seen as an event removed.
I got some white friends that fucking
hide
there.
No, it's not obviously not all black, but Atlanta's known as a black city.
I just wonder
if it's New Orleans.
I wonder if it's total political correctness. I just wonder.
Just look at it. You know what? You want to know what the black cities are in this country? And this isn't even a joke. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to insult people, but it's the truth. I just recently saw the top 10 crime-ridden cities in the United States are predominantly black cities.
Detroit.
Yes. Philly is in there. Philadelphia.
But Philly doesn't look black.
No, it is.
It really doesn't look black.
Well,
I'm down there a lot.
You're not going to those areas.
I know there's horrible black areas.
I'm not stupid,
but I'm talking when I walk around like Old City and Philly in general, the city. I don't really see.
You're not standing on the line to see the Liberty Bell with a bunch of the brothers.
But
no, I know. I'm just saying.
I did it once, like anyone would.
That area. I remember when my navigation took me to the wrong place in Philly. Wow, did it ever?
West Philly.
Whoa, yeah, it was bad.
Will Smith's area.
Yeah, I don't even think Philly's on the list. To tell you the truth, though. There is 25 most dangerous cities in America.
Philly's 17.
Philly's 17.
I got on the list.
Yeah, let's go down the list there. Springfield, Illinois.
That's where.
All right.
Okay.
This is probably, how far outside Chicago. D.C.
Well, D.C. See now,
is
D.C.
just-
Sorry, but D.C. I consider a black city way before,
course it is.
way before Philly. It's an obvious.
I don't know. Philly
black
is
city.
kind of known as
It's not what I say.
Oh, okay.
I don't need to defend the
Hartford, Connecticut. Wow. Hartford's bad.
Hartford sucks. I used to do a gig up there, which I'll never do again, because of fucking the booker was a twat. And we have to walk from the hotel to the club. And it would get weird. And it's the insurance capital.
Yeah.
And it's very quiet and creepy at night. Hartford's creepy.
Hartford is a black city. I've been there enough to know. Wow, I'm talking about when you just notice it.
Yeah. Cleveland, Ohio.
Black city, yes.
I love Cleveland.
Yeah,
It's abandoned.
Unfortunately,
Wonderful.
they like to put us up in shitty hotels in Cleveland. So.
Springfield, Mass. is number 12 in the 25 most dangerous cities in America.
And Basketball Hall of Fame. Huge basketball fan growing up. Went there. Really scary fucking place.
Scary place?
Real scary place.
Wow, man. More than double that. There were 84 forcible rapes per every 100,000 people, more than double the national average. They love rape in Springfield, Mass.
Yeah, but do they love raping 85-year-old women?
Yeah, now that guy.
That are out for a stroll.
He's Buffalo making the list at number 11.
Yeah, Buffalo's pretty
Buffalo.
black.
That's good. All right. What else we got there? Number 10, Stockton, California.
Don't know there.
Yeah, Stockton. Rockford, Illinois is number 9. Number 8, Baltimore. Yeah. Baltimore has 1,455 violent crimes per 100,000 people. There were 35 murders per 100,000 people, 4 times the national average. Little Rock, Arkansas. There you go. Number 7. Lots of crime going on there. Number 6, Oakland, Biatch, Oakland. Now, I would consider Oakland quite the black city. Mm-hmm. O-Town. A lot of gang violence going on in Oakland. Yeah. Number 5, Memphis, Tennessee. Yep. Number 4 is New Haven, Connecticut.
Another one in Connecticut? Wow.
New Haven, Connecticut.
Connecticut's got 2.
Jesus. A lot of robberies in Connecticut,
2 of the
apparently.
top 10.
Old St. Louis, Missouri, coming in at number 3. Number 2, Detroit, Michigan.
Why do they have to show that picture?
Because there's so many burnt-out houses and buildings in Detroit. Detroit has one...
You would swear that's Iraq.
I know.
After the shit that went on.
After a shelling.
Right.
Detroit, 1,887 violent crimes per 100,000 persons. There were 34 murders per 100,000 people, 4 times the national average. That's an amazing city, Detroit. And number 1, Flint, Michigan, home of Michael Moore. Flint had over 2,208 violent crimes per 100,000 people. There were 49 murders per 100,000 people, more than 5 times the national average. 84 forcible rapes, more than doubling the national average.
What is a non-forcible rape?
Yeah, that's, she pushed back a little.
She was asking for it?
Yeah, she was dressed all scantily.
Now, there's a picture that says, God help us save Flint.
Save Flint.
And I know Mr. Moore is all about saving Flint, Michigan.
Yes.
But my thought is this, very simple. After all these years,
Backhoe.
is it really worth saving anymore? Because all the people that were smart enough got the fuck out of there.
There was a
Who would
Michigan.
live year after year like that?
A lot of those cities in Michigan had thriving economies back in the automotive days and the heyday of the American automobile, which is long gone. There's no way to bring that back. So, it's like in ancient times where you'd see, like, there was a civilization here, and for some reason they picked up and moved.
Well,
and then there's just ruins. That's what you got, ruins.
Yeah, you went to Mexico recently, and you saw that. That was a, quote, city that just died.
Something happened.
And they moved on to something else.
You gotta move on.
Like, our cities is kind of like nature.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Some have to just die.
Some of them are extinct.
You can't prop them up and try to save them.
No.
You know, I've said this a bunch of times, but when shipping was really important in this country, south of Buffalo was really, really important.
On the Erie Canal.
Right, and you take a ride down, south of Buffalo along the lake, you see nothing but factories and refineries and all this stuff. That it's a ghost town now.
Yeah.
Because guess what? that we moved on to something else, and
Figured
then
something else out.
and then another city, got propped
Yeah,
up.
something else was prospering
A new
because
industry
of the
pops
new
up.
industry.
If you're ever if you ever
On the Erie Canal.
What was the fucking? I remember that song. Fuck.
Work 15 miles on the Erie Canal.
If you're ever, I can't. Why do I know that? From music class, maybe.
We've hauled some barges in our day, filled with lumber, coal, and hay, and we know every inch of the way from Albany to Buffalo. Low Bridge, everybody down Low Bridge. We're coming to a town, and you always know your neighbor. You always know your pal. If you ever
what is it?
navigated on,
Is it
the
navigated
Erie
on?
Canal, I think so.
If you've ever navigated on, yeah, I knew navigated.
Dude, he just sang the whole song. You're
think I
trying to
got
remember
it.
one sentence.
Yeah.
one lyric.
Yes.
How do you fucking know all the words to that? Why do you allow him to do that? And just
That was
because
like
that's
from a
insane.
kid. I don't think I've sang that since I was fucking
How do you
8.
fucking remember that shit?
He's an idiot
Stuck
savant,
in my head.
minus the savant part.
I got rid of that savant part.
You really have this Rain Man quality about you at times. It's very strange.
Yeah, with babies.
Very
I've got a
strange.
mule. Her name is Sal. 15 miles on the Erie Canal. Row. I don't want to pull this barge. They're ruining my Christmas shoes.
But wouldn't the country be healthier to just let Flint, Michigan die?
Yeah, I think at this point, Flint can't depend on someone coming in and propping up an old industry or getting jobs for the people that are still there, because the people that are there, for the most part, not well educated, kind of living off the government. And I'm not saying everybody. Relax if you're listening in Flint and you're prosperous. So somebody.
We'll never be there.
Yeah,
I'll
tell me
never
about
go to
it.
Flint,
Never
Michigan.
go to Flint.
Why would I go there?
But it's got to be very difficult to find a job.
Of course, but what are we supposed to do as a country? Like put fake industry in there to try to get jobs going? No one wants to go to Flint, Michigan.
You can't pump it up. They got to figure out something else to do with Flint,
Unfortunately
Michigan.
for Michael Moore, your hometown's got to die. Then another town or city will prosper, and that's how it works in this country. How it works in the world.
50% black. It looks to me to be maybe 80% white, and then maybe 10% other. What is that? Black alone, 55%.
No, 49.
Oh, 49%. Right. White, 42%. And then Hispanic, 3. Asian, yeah. But for the most part, it's split 49%, 42%.
You think
black and white?
You think there's a Starbucks in Flint, Michigan?
Probably.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, there's probably one.
You wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I bet there is, with a giant plexiglass fucking thing in front of the cashier, and you got to use the lazy Susan roundy round like you're making a fucking deposit.
Just to get your latte?
Yeah, just to get your latte through there.
Type of thing Omar used to buy Newports through.
Oh, yeah. God, it's great that his brains ended up on. Oh, my God.
Are we going to do the Myrtle Beach story?
Oh, yeah, this ties in.
The department is now investigating 4 violent crimes from over the weekend. 2 people were shot yesterday morning on Ocean Boulevard, but officials say those injuries are not life-threatening. There have also been 3 armed robberies within city limits, including a stabbing and a carjacking at gunpoint. The added amount of crime forced the city to keep all officers on duty this weekend, even constables and probation officers.
Jesus Christ. Just behave, please.
Why do you allow that in your city?
Why? And those are like the ones that were reported. You know how many people just got punched in the face and, shit like that. There was one woman, she went to the police, said she was raped by a gang of black men. And while she was telling the cops that, this white guy, I guess her boyfriend, came running out with a shotgun and went to the gang of guys that she said was raping her. And they ran off.
Wow.
And then they never came back to
didn't
finish
shoot?
reporting the rape. No, who knows what happened down the block.
Yeah.
But one of those clips sounds like GTA. All you hear is gunfire, screaming, cars crashing, and sirens. It's great.
Let's go to Mike in D.C. Mikey.
Good morning, boys.
Hey.
Hello.
Good morning. So, about 8 years ago, I went down to Myrtle Beach for a bachelor party weekend, and it was at the tail end of Bike Week. And every single place we went into, like strip joint, steakhouse, what have you, talked about how, they were happy to have the Harley guys here, but they didn't like the, quote, dark people when they came next week.
Jesus.
The dark people.
We just, like, literally everywhere. They were like, they're dirty, they have the women with the asses hanging out, and we were just like, are we back in, like, 1950s Mayberry here?
I saw some video that was amazing of some of these chicks. First of all, there's a thing going on with the cars where they got these cars that are jacked up real high on giant wheels. Now, the tires themselves are very thin, but the rims are these funny-looking spoke chrome giant rims. The cars are so high off the ground. It's not just your basic 57 fucking Chevy jumping up and down with the hydraulics. There's like a whole, there's a whole fucking thing going on like that. Like, that's a prime example. And they cruise the streets.
I've never seen rims like that.
Every fucking black chick I saw had these little skirts on, and they were all fat. Big, fat black women wearing, like, tight, fucking spandexy shit. Yeah, that's like the look now of the cars that are going around.
That looks so fucking stupid.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it looks so stupid.
Looks like a toy car.
Yeah, look at that one with the red one. Look at this. What is that? Yeah, homie.
How dumb does that look? With those tiny tires.
Yeah, the tires are like rubber bands stretched around the edges of these rims.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I was watching videos of this urban weekend.
Of course you are.
Of course I am most educated on the shenanigans of the African Americans and what they're doing with their cars, with their women, with their crimes, with even with the good things in life that they're doing.
Now I watch Jerseylicious for pleasure.
For pleasure.
Do you watch that stuff for pleasure?
No, because I usually end up yelling and screaming as I'm watching the videos. I get very angry at things that are going on in the community. I think more energy should be used in, like, look at these cars. How about you take the energy and money in that and use it to maybe clean up a corner and maybe start a business that isn't a liquor store in the neighborhood and then educate the people around you not to bust the windows and rob the place, and let the people understand that it's a black-owned business and that you could come here, spend your money, and we can, start our own economy kind of a thing.
As a car guy, though, I have to say.
Yeah.
Can you really picture, like, if you have that money to buy that car, if you go, you know what, the heck with it, I'm going to clean up a corner? That's not realistic.
It really isn't. But sacrifices must be made in the name of if you want to be part of a community and you want to be respected and looked at as a viable member of an economy and society, then you can't be buying your toys yet. You have to build up.
A lot of those guys have money.
Yeah.
It's just for drug dealing, but they haven't. A lot of guys
the drug money.
A lot of those guys have money.
James in Michigan. James.
What's going on, boys?
Hey, James.
In Flint, I live in a suburb north in between Flint and Detroit, and Flint's got like 10 police officers for that whole city. It's just, it's horrible. I drive a truck, and I go out there occasionally, and it's terrible. I go in and get out of that city.
Yeah, you gotta let it just die.
Oh, good. They know where to put their money. That's good. I'm sure the rest of it goes to fucking welfare.
What's Michael Moore's solution?
I don't know what his solution is.
I guess he feels like he has to save Flint, Michigan, but it's not going to happen.
There's nothing left there. The things that are left are little gas stations, and there's obviously the major chain stores are there, but they're such bulletproof there that it's a war zone out there.
Hey, dude, what was that? What was it? A mall or a convention center they opened? They were all proud that it was going to be, or a museum. It was like a car builder's museum. It was something, and they were all very happy about it. And it wound up closing down. Like they were trying to get tourists to come there.
To check this thing out.
And check it out, and no one came. And
who the fuck wants
grand
to go see
opening,
that?
grand closing.
Nobody wants to see that.
No one. It was some of the worst use of money and a waste of time and resources.
How come American cars fell behind like that? Was it union costs or was it just what was it?
Unions don't want to hear this, but it's fucking unions.
Yeah, well,
unions say it's the companies,
right,
and the companies say it's the unions. Now, if you look at what happened, you got the unions asking for more and more money, especially during the heyday of the American automotive craze. You got the unions asking for more and more money, and they never wanted to take cuts or concessions when things started to maybe drop off because of the fuel crisis and stuff. Yeah. And that's when people started buying cars from overseas because they were cheaper, because the labor's cheaper. So you can blame people for not wanting to spend more money, but people don't want to spend more money. So they're going to start buying cars that are built outside. And then the American companies started outsourcing because the labor was cheaper. Why pay some fucking welder or some guy that's doing the painting and shit a fuckload of money when you could outsource it and not have to pay as much? And then people like Michael Mork see it as the greedy car companies, but it's like, you know what? It's an open market, and I'm going to go where it's cheaper.
The greedy consumers, because I don't think the company would mind paying that money if people didn't mind spending that much more for a car. But that's not just greedy companies, because consumers want to save money. It's like everyone's fucking...
But is it greed or is it just human nature? You're always going to want to buy something for less. But now, instead of, auto workers making half of what they were making in the heyday, they're making none of what they were making. Yeah. And unemployment rampant. You got whole cities that were based on these... car companies and car manufacturers just shutting down because the unions didn't want to make concessions and take pay cuts. Hey, when fucking industries take shits that aren't unionized, you take pay cuts. And you go, fuck, now I got to tighten my belt, pull myself up by my bootstraps. But as far as the unions go, they're like, no, we're not going to do it. And the people that are talking for the workers, the union organizers, the reps, the big guys, they're not losing out. They're still getting their fucking money, but the union workers wind up out of work. Yeah, go find another job, fucko. And everyone, all those guys get fucked.
All right. We're going to lose a couple of really good phone calls. Steve in Baltimore. Steve.
Hey, Ann, I know what kind of car you're talking about. You're talking about the 94 Caprice police car with $4,000 worth of rims on it?
Yeah, yes. A giant...
I'm going to paraphrase on the article. I have it right here in front of me. It's going to be 1999. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. That's wrong. It's 2007. The AFL-CIO of South Carolina sued the Chamber of Commerce of Myrtle Beach for the businesses that stay open during Black Bike Week. And the main reason is that 80% of the restaurant chains and the restaurant industry wanted to close during that week because of complaints of walked out on checks.
There you go.
You sure you don't mean the ACLU?
Well, yeah. No,
he said AFL-CIO.
Well, so wait. So they had to stay open? Like... Their businesses are not being treated properly. They don't want to serve customers.
You can't tell a business to stay open, can you? Obviously, you can
if you're closing because of a racial bias. But then they can tell you can't close for that reason. I bet.
But what do people want? Like,
I'm not sure, but
if the people down there are going in and they're getting service. And they're fucking being nice in the restaurant and they're buying food. There's no business that wouldn't want to stay open.
Oh, exactly. You want to take that money, sure.
Everybody wants to take money. But if you're fucking walking out on checks, it's like it's the same story from every single person I've ever met.
Yes.
Who is a waiter or waitress tells the same story.
Mm-hmm. If you have to buy a new soda machine because somebody put someone's fucking head through it, in a fight in your place.
Is that more mafia stuff?
Problem.
That's a mafia move, isn't it?
No, not from what I saw recently.
All right.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a Wikipedia article.
Steve, what do you got on the bathtub?
What's that?
I guess they mixed you up with somebody else. Some motel owner was really fucking mad because somebody broke their bathtub.
How do you break the bathtub? Well, some of those asses I've seen.
I don't know what the fuck that's all about. I'm just a sad Oriole lover.
All right. Thank you, sir. How do you break a bathtub?
Yeah.
No, how do you break one? You would need a sledgehammer, wouldn't you?
Probably standing in it doing a booty clap dance. Oh, my God.
Breaks it in half.
That booty clap thing is fucking disgusting.
Why? Let me see.
It's fucking disgusting.
The booty clap dance.
Because it isn't hot girls doing it. Believe me. In order to get the momentum, to get those cheeks slapping together. They're like click-clacks. Big, fat fucking asses. Booty clap.
Oh, best booty clap ever.
Did you see the did you see the penis one yet? Have you seen the penis one yet?
What, the penis booty clap?
It was viral for a little bit, but it's a black
viral
guy.
Penis, great. Oh, there's my girl.
It's black guys.
Yeah.
And they wear loose fitting like boxers or whatever. And then they dance in such a way that their half fucking hard fucking dicks are like fucking.
Oh,
you
God.
haven't seen this thing yet?
Oh, I think I have. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
She has a nice body.
What's wrong with
but
this?
This chick's got a nice body. But these aren't the ones you see doing it on the street. Oh, look at him.
That would wreck
What
you.
is that? That's a nice
ass.
That's like, hey, you know what the booty clap and booty dance
please,
is?
she's fucking got a great ass.
That's a great ass.
I'm not denying it.
Because she's black.
No, I'm not denying it.
Wow, she could move individual cheeks.
Yeah.
That booty dance, that booty clap thing, it means, could you shove your cock in me, come, get me pregnant, and leave?
Well, yeah.
It's a mating dance, for fuck's sake. Look at it.
What's wrong with you? Calm down. That's a hot ass.
That's a great ass.
Look, she's twitching it like an eyebrow.
probably a
One
stripper.
cheek's going, mah, mah, mah.
I love how
Groucho twat she has.
Groucho twat. Ma, da, 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 da.
That's the biggest clit I ever saw.
she could move the cheeks individually.
Yeah. That's a little creepy when a chick can do that.
I wouldn't call that best ever booty clap, but that's a good one.
Well, you know what?
That's a good one.
Big ass is this? And then they got a
there's a Bud Light commercial.
Bud Light wants us to sponsor the big black ass video.
What's that thing with the label where you just write your name on it?
Oh yeah, we had those on the boat. Someone wrote poo poo on mine.
How does it work?
I wrote Travis is gay.
But how does it work?
I don't know. It just kind of scratches.
You take a key and you scratch on
you
it.
take a key, you scratch it in.
Can't you just do that on any
Well, yeah, but it's fun.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
You enjoyed
Not
it
at
for
all.
2 seconds.
No, I didn't. I didn't even enjoy it for 2 seconds.
Good.
I haven't fucked a black chick in years.
Oh, here's the bathtub
about
story. Mike in Albany.
Mike. What's up, fellas? Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Hello.
What's that, Mike?
Listen, my cousin, she worked in one of the chain hotels that's right on the beach down there.
Chain hotel. Ironic.
Yeah. And she says it was like gorillas in the mist in the bath.
Oh, Jesus.
They just
for that.
Why?
Because they was just doing the booty shake in the bathtub.
How does this guy know that?
They broke it? There's a chick doing booty shake in the bathtub.
She worked at the hotel. She was the manager there.
Wow.
She says they come in there, they destroy the place. They ripped out a toilet one year. And my friends of mine, they work at restaurants, and there'll be 15 of them come in, and they'll just about leave 2 bites on their plate. They'll get up, say it was disgusting, walk out, and not pay for anything. And that's why everybody wanted to close up down there. She said they'd rather have the white bikers down there because they got more money and they paid their bills.
There's that going on. There's these fucking flash mob shit going on where, they just all of a sudden 15, 20 black guys and girls will walk into a business establishment and just take shit. 15, and the store owner isn't going to do shit. He's standing there like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? They grab shit, either clothes in a clothing store, food, whatever it is, and then they'll just look at this. Here's a video one. Is there sound on this? No, it's just the music. Yeah, there's not. You don't need the music. And they walk in and just take whatever the fuck they want, knock shit down. Look, they're just wrecking the joint, and then they run out.
At least
this poor store owner's like, get out of my store.
That's hilarious.
That's like what? But they come back and start throwing shit.
Most flash mobs suck. That's pretty fucking hilarious.
Look, now they're forcing their way back in, and now just throwing things at the store owner, yelling with their hoodies up over their head.
But that's why,
look
as a store owner, you got to have look at throwing garbage in there.
They're just grabbing sports drinks as they're throwing shit. This guy like, oh yeah. He's like, oh yeah.
But that's
they're laughing.
That's as a store owner, though, where you should be able to take a shotgun and just start blasting at the front door.
Yeah. And do they look underprivileged? Look, they're wearing nice clothes and shit. This isn't a we can't afford food, so I'm getting food for my family. Don't give me that bullshit. That's a blatant disregard for the guy's business, for living in a civilized fucking society. Give me a break. Let's be honest already.
Where did that video happen?
Anytown, USA. If you look, here's another. They go into a clothing store and just start lifting clothes and just walk right the fuck out with them. Look at them. Yeah, that's mine. Gives me that. There's plenty of gives me that going on in that fucking store. I've had it. I can't watch this shit anymore.
Don't.
But I can't stop.
That ass did put me. The big ass has to put you in a good mood, though.
Yeah, that's true. Jimmy liked the second one. That's when you lost me, Jimmy.
Comedic moment.
I didn't like this. What second one?
There was one you were looking at, and you kind of went.
The big fat one I didn't like. I don't like big fat
I think it was the one in between.
You know what? Those are chicks in their rooms doing it. So if they got a nice ass, they do it. But if you just see like a festival on the street and they're doing it, it's always horrible.
Oh, look
big
at the,
fat asses.
Look at the white one trying it.
Is there a white chick trying it?
She cut the malarkey. Oh, she's a pretty good one.
You know what? Be all up inside that.
That's a good one.
I'd shoot a tray up in that, yo.
Yeah, that's a nice little honey.
Jesus. She's wearing a little pink, I don't even know what the fuck that's called.
And listen to what she's listening to and how she's doing that so well.
Yeah,
I know.
believe me.
You only know what the fuck is happening.
The last thing she wants to do is fuck you in your XM hat.
Exactly.
Yeah, she'd have her ass up against the window and shade. Taking a fuck. Yeah.
That's fucking.
Yeah.
That's a nice ass, though.
It's ridiculously hot.
I love a nice ass.
That's good.
And it's on YouTube, really? That's borderline porno, man.
But the second you put something racial up there, they get very upset and pull it down.
Do they?
It violates the terms of you. Yeah, once the comments start going.
Here's another one.
Jesus. What's going on there?
What? There's a chick on a booty clap doing a booty, but a messy bed. She's got her fucking bed's not even made.
The computer's opened.
Yeah. She's doing a terrible booty clap.
Let's say hi to Jason in South Carolina. Jason.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Hey,
I was going to tell you, well, we've got a friend that owns a bike shop down in Myrtle Beach. And 1 week it's White Bike Week, the next week it's Black Bike Week. And they actually have shirts that say, this week Bike Week, next week Buck Week. But the guys, they shut down for their vacation at that bike shop when it's Black Bike Week. The guys are literally having sex standing up on the side of the street. They're pissing in convenience stores, grocery stores. They walk out on their tab. We've got some friends that are highway patrol that get assigned to work down there, and man, you wouldn't believe the horror stories that they tell down there, man. It's insane. And then they turn around and get pissed off when people complain about it, local business owners complain about it, and then they want to start suing because it's racial.
Oh, stop with the racist. It's not racist. If fucking any group went into a store and started robbing the motherfucker, just because it's called a flash mob and it's on video, it's acceptable, and it's like, oh, that's okay, it's innocent. No, it's not. They're robbing a store, and their weapon is intimidation in numbers. Stop. Look at that. What the hell is that?
It's too big for my taste.
Stop it.
It looks fake almost.
Looks full of water.
It does look like it's full of water.
Booty clap. Enough with your booty clap.
That's a fat black booty shaking.
God. It's a whole nother fucking world. It's a whole nother world that I can't comprehend and want no piece of it.
You'd be surprised. You would enjoy it a lot more than you think.
What?
I'm telling you, it's not as foreign as you think. There's certain, like the crime element I don't like, but you got to. There's a lot in black people you can enjoy.
I don't.
Honestly, I'm not being the house liberal. It's true.
No, I'm just not. I'm not savvy enough to the.
But you are. You're a funny guy.
Yeah, but
I'm telling you, you're a funny dude. People like funny dudes.
It's alien to me.
But it's really not. You're a shit talker. You're honest, and you're a funny guy. Black people would like you more than you think.
Well, maybe.
Honestly, you know what I mean. You would have a much better time than you think.
I don't know. I don't know the lingo.
I don't either. Who's fucking whiter than me? I meet them. I go, hi, I'm white. That's what I say.
But you, during doing stand up, you've been in front of black crowds.
They hate me. They hate me.
Do they really?
I hate black crowds. I like black people on an individual level. 50 of them in a comedy club? Boo.
Really?
No.
They don't like you.
They hate me. They like my sex stuff. But they do my material. I've never gotten booed off stage by a black crowd, and I've never had a horribly aggressive experience. They just don't enjoy it.
They don't enjoy you?
I don't know why. Aww. Patrice said it burst. He's like, because you're funny. He goes, but black people just think they're not supposed to like you.
Oh, is that it? Yeah.
But I don't like, and maybe I'm off my game, but when I've done my sexual stuff, I kill in black clubs or black audiences. But when I do other stuff, I don't do as well at all. Or maybe I just notice when it's bad because they're black. I don't know. It's probably half on me, too, because you feel the difference.
Oh, maybe you're putting off that vibe, like
I feel like something's different. I'm not totally comfortable. Maybe my pace, my cadence is the same. Maybe my pace is differently, or I don't know. I haven't done it in so long. But I think you should. I think about Ant sometimes. Like, if this, I was watching Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did a special about the Wrens, who was the before basketball was integrated. It was a black and a white league basically, and it was like, and then you're like, ugh. It's like you can't be annoyed when you see that. It's like, God Almighty, really leaving the fucking black players had to carry fucking knives in their socks in case they were attacked by the audience for winning.
Oh shit!
It's like when you look at it like that, you're like, all right, I kind of get some of it, but you should do some black things. I think that'd be fucking great to film.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it would.
Like what?
I don't know, but I forget when I thought of it. But there was some black
go to the range and turn my gun sideways. That'd be cute.
No, but I thought of it. Like there was some stuff that I think you would enjoy.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
I'm trying to think, and I can't really come up with any.
Jim.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what activities I enjoy.
I don't know. It's
too foreign.
Yeah, it's too out there for me. It's sometimes it's too alien.
You should get comfortable with black people.
Should I?
Because I think 70%. I get as annoyed when I'm watching those flash mob videos. They're enraging,
and I know that's not the majority. Even see, I'm not that crazy.
It is enraging, and it's a white guy.
You probably should say that though, because I think people think you think it's a majority.
No, and I do bring it up a lot.
I bet you they would think. They think that.
I'm not. But the majority should absolutely speak out more about what's going on. I think as a country, we should all speak out a little more and not be so coddling and say, like, what kind of disrespect is there in the black community that this element is going on? Not the whole, but just an element of their society is very violent, very entitled to just go in somewhere and take what they want like that with barely any repercussions, to tell you the truth.
Oh, the jails are pretty full.
Well, you know what? With some, pretty hardcore criminals, I think. And maybe some just guys selling pot, which is stupid. Them, I say, let them out. I'm not for jailing fucking guys with weed.
No, I'm saying there's repercussions. Blacks go to jail.
But robbery, violent crimes, rapes, murders, if you look, it's way out of proportion as per the population. It's just way out of proportion. And that has to be addressed. It's got to be fucking addressed by everybody, not just white people, not just lawmakers, by everybody. Has to look and say, this is a national problem we're having. That it takes up resources, it takes up, like you said, jail space. You think 50% of the prison population being black helps when that 50% has to be paid for?
How many? I'm asking. I don't have an answer for this, but I guarantee you that of all the black people in jail, how many are middle class? I'm going to guess almost all are poor.
Yeah, poor. Right.
So, like, is it monetary or is it?
But and
again, it's just a question.
But where does the poverty come from? Where does that poverty come from? How come the town or the people in a certain community can't just take their little piece and make it that much better? And the people that are fucking slinging dope, they're scumbags. They're fucking their own people. Yet, instead of taking responsibility, they'll come up with some wacky idea that the white man brought in the drugs to fuck them up. The white man has the liquor stores on every corner where they're getting drunk. It's always the white man's problem. Instead of just fucking do something about your own little part of your neighborhood.
And again, this is something I don't have an answer for either. How long does it take? I was watching the interviews with these basketball players. This guy, the team is called the Harlem Renaissance, and there's guys that are still alive that were on that team. And they remember going to games, not being allowed to stay in the hotel. They remember all of it. Yeah. So, like, those people are still here.
But you'd think it would be worse.
How many years does it take when a country when that's the structure of a country? Well, how many years does it take to wash all that out of the system?
To wash it out? Well, how about when we live in a country now where the black youth look at our country as if they can do anything in it with impunity. We reached the point where we're so fearful of being called racist. This country, everyone, being called a racist, it's the new scarlet letter, the R. You don't want to be called a racist. That we're willing to not put a description of a rapist or a murderer on TV. We'll say he's early 20s, he was wearing a black shirt, black pants, and police need your help. How about just say a black male?
I agree.
Could you just fucking say that? But we're so afraid of being called a racist that we've shied away from saying there's a problem in the black community that videotapes are being made of people robbing people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How long does it take for, because at one point it was...
I don't think it has anything to do with the old school racism. It's a new school entitlement.
There's a mentality that goes with it. Like, the guy was talking about, like, he goes, you had to be careful when you're in public. And he wasn't even complaining. He was just going, you had to be careful, eyes down.
Yeah, had to. I'm sure it was
terrible. If you're looking at a white woman, and that was not that long. So, like, that mentality, like, the people that are alive today, that's their uncles and their grandfather. How long does it take before it all gets washed out?
But it's so not that anymore.
But it's this is the blowback from it. It's like the country fucked up, people long before us, and we have to fucking pay for it. It's like, as a whole, the country should have done the right thing a long time ago. It didn't. And now this is the blowback. It goes the other way. So now you can't even say black in the description because 60 years ago, somebody would fucking hang you for going, hey, nigga, that's a white woman. You're just looking.
Right.
It's like it was so out of balance in that way. And now we have a little politically correct imbalance this way, and it's fucking enraging.
But I see it getting worse. I don't see it. The more, here it is, the more white America, and by white America I mean everybody else in America, accepts this. And I'm not talking there should be the truncheons and fucking dogs and fire hoses, believe me. But the more acceptance that there came and more laws that were made to keep people from violating other people's civil rights and violence towards blacks, the more it got better. The worse minorities got when it came to crimes and murders and rapes and robberies. So why is that?
I don't know.
Things are getting better.
I don't know. But it's like the point you raise about just take care of your own community and just do the right thing. You're right. But it's almost like for X amount of 100 years, you and I'm not saying, believe me, I'm not giving the slavery as the cause of it.
Yeah.
But no matter what you do, you don't get what you're supposed to get. No matter what you do, you just don't get it. And then after a certain amount of time, people just go, okay, hey, come on, just do it. And you'll get what you're supposed to get. Like, when does the balance come? It does get washed out, I'm sure, but when? We're just in that part of it where it's swinging the other way. And it's fucking annoying, but it ain't going to get solved in this. But that's what it is. It's like, but when you look at it as a whole fucking picture, it's not like blacks were just handed this silver spoon 300 years ago and did nothing with it. I mean, this is not the way it worked.
Yeah, but it's obvious things are better than they were.
Sure.
But the problem seems to be getting worse, and we're more fearful to address it, is what it is. And I don't know. Like you said, how much time has to go by? I don't know. But I sure don't see a light at the end of the tunnel.
And that fear, you're right. The fear is annoying.
And I'm not afraid of being called a racist.
I
could give a shit.
Yeah, I have no fear
obviously about being called a racist. I was watching Gettysburg last night, and I'm like, God damn, why'd the Union have to get Cemetery Ridge? Shit. Fuck.
Hey, one more phone call before we go to break. Adrian in New Orleans, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, we have Essence Festival down here, and the businesses would close down, and they were catching all kind of shit for closing their doors because of people not paying bills, not tipping for services, and hotels that actually would barbecue in hotel rooms. Not even on a balcony, in the fucking hotel room. They would barbecue and just trash.
In the hotel.
Hey, Brad Delp tried the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's a white guy.
I have a feeling this is a classic example of maybe that happened once, and now it has become they all barbecue in fucking hotel rooms. There's no way.
Not all barbecuing, but I mean, you hear of it happening every. Like, I work in the fire alarm industry. I serve the fire alarm panels. And every time they leave, I got to got to go in and put up smoke detectors so they rip them off the ceilings, and it's just a mess.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
we learned they barbecue in hotel rooms at the Essence Festival.
There's definitely no secret that there's.
Let's not get too crazy here, please.
But there's no secret that during these things, there's some violence and shenanigans and fucking destruction of property and.
But you ever do
robberies
spring break? You never did spring break growing up, right?
No, I didn't.
We went to the. It was a very white thing.
Oh, I've seen a lot of white fist
and
fights.
And there's some shit that
like
went on, my brother.
Yeah. Destruction of property.
We used to throw
like
12, 14 guys in one room because we had no money.
And was there a lot of gunfire between you guys? Just, pulling out guns and shooting? Were you raping, really? I mean, white people are more in date rape.
Yeah.
We're more into date rape than just your blatant, I don't know you rape.
Yeah, black people hit you over the head with a stick. White people drug your beverage.
Yes. Slip you a Mickey,
and then quietly fuck you in the back of the Chevy while you're vomiting.
And convince you wanted it.
But Patrice, he has a great point when he said, I've never met a racist. It's like, no, it's almost like white people never come out and just go, I'm a racist.
No.
So it's easy to go, well, when you look at, like, how come black people don't behave a certain way? Well, but no white people admit being racist.
Right.
It's like white people don't come out and go, yeah, I'm a racist and he's not, so go talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like white people haven't been straight with that stuff either.
So you think it's still prevalent, but under wraps a little more.
Blacks cry racism way too much, and fucking whites don't look at institutionalized racism enough. That's all it is.
Well, institutionalized racism, that's rampant.
White people, every time white people hear race now, we're like, shut the fuck up. Like every time black guy says racism, we're like, shut your face. Which is not, a lot of times they're right. And every time a fucking thing happens, a black guy will go racism, when a lot of times it's not. I'm babbling, I apologize.
I just don't understand why, in this day and age, you could look at black schools, and I know they're just horrific in a lot of these things. Yeah. But, and realize that if you even fucking kind of do well, you're really writing your own ticket as a black guy to be able to get a scholarship even. And it seems to be, if you really want to take that road and work hard, that you do have more of an upper hand than a white guy would at this point.
I'm sure it happens a lot more now than it did 20 years ago. We're focusing on one thing, but it's not like we have a stat sheet that says in the last 20 years, this is how many blacks have gone from poor to middle class, or this is how many middle class blacks are now lawyers. It's like we don't have that stat in front of us, but it could be a tremendous jump.
I think Ant just simplified the school system, too, because you see this documentary, Waiting for Superman, maybe it's full of shit, I don't know.
Language!
But they talk about the kids that do want to succeed and do well, and then it turns out that they're nowhere near the same level of other, I hate to say it, white kids in other school districts.
Yeah.
They're getting their A's, but it's the material is not up to par with other schools.
Exactly.
Even. It is a fucking mess.
Well, there's a lot of cities also, and this enrages me when I read about this. A lot of cities that aren't hiring new police officers and firemen because some group has deemed the test racist. And it's like, how is the test racist? You can either do this or you can't do this.
See, that's where, and I agree and disagree. They said that the thing, like math is universal. But a lot of the other things were culturally biased, and that's what they...
How is something culturally biased when it comes to a fire or police test?
You know how little you know about certain black experiences?
Yeah.
That's how little some of them know.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
White experiences.
But let me give you this. If I knew I wanted to get into a certain career, I would fucking learn that shit. Because that's the criteria for the test. You don't change the test because the guy doesn't know how to do the test. You make the guy learn how to pass the fucking test. I didn't go to school and know every test. They didn't give me the test. I had to learn and then study for it and take the test.
Well, it depends on I don't have any cultural examples as to what they had to change or what was deemed biased.
I doubt there's questions about Muffy and caviar on these things.
No. I
bet it's pretty universal.
I don't know why they were deemed that, to be honest with you. Maybe it was just an excuse because of lower test scores. I mean, I don't know.
I think it is an excuse. For lower test scores.
I don't know the answer.
I think I agree with Ann on this one.
Yeah, it's just learn the fucking thing. If it's culturally biased, sorry, some tests are harder for certain people than others based on a lot of things, not just race. I mean, but you had to study for the test. You didn't do it the other way around. We didn't make the test easier for you because you couldn't do it. You had to study harder. And some people, sorry, you're just stupid. You're not going to fucking pass the test. Everyone didn't get an A when I went to school. They got an A, someone got an F, and everybody else got shit in between. But you didn't change the test because someone got a fucking F.
So then what? But then you take it one step further. Then you have white cops in black neighborhoods. The white cops are nervous and uncomfortable because most of them are suburban guys. Sure. The fucking blacks resent them. So it's like, how do you fix that? How do you? And I'm not saying don't hire white. I'm saying, how do you balance that a little bit?
It's almost like a chicken and egg thing. Like what? So what is it? Is it the cops, the suburban cops, sick of the fucking crime, or is it the fucking black guy treating the cops with no respect because they're not getting treated with respect? Well, the truth of the matter is, sorry, and it sucks. But the cop is the authoritarian in any given situation. And if whoever gets pulled over, whatever the fuck color you are, you have to treat him with respect. And it's something that even Edward Norton said in American History X. He goes, we allow the police a certain latitude because they're doing a job that none of us want to fucking do.
Absolutely.
So we give them a certain amount of latitude, not to tune somebody up in the middle of the fucking street, but to say, hey, you, what the fuck are you doing in this neighborhood? That's a viable fucking question if you ask me.
I agree.
And if there's 5 fucking black guys riding around a weird neighborhood in a fucking car, you might take a closer look than you would a white guy driving in suburbia in his BMW going home. Why? Because statistics show that the one car might be doing something the other car isn't doing.
But our experience with cops, and I know black cops in the ghetto are probably worse on fucking people than white cops in the ghetto.
Yeah.
They're fucking brutal on other black people. I don't think that if it's all black cops, everything's going to be terrific because they're fucking hated by a lot of people too.
Yeah.
But I think our experience with cops is different.
But how about a black guy that is in a car with a bunch of his buddies, right? And they're driving around, they get pulled over and have no drugs on them. All their paper are in order. And they could just go to the cop and go, yes, officer. You know how satisfying it would be to be able to go, I got all my shit. My taillights fucking work. You pulled me over for no reason. But not even say it. Just be like, yeah, I got my shit. And then go, thank you, sir. And you drive off. And the cop's like, now the cop is thinking, wow, look at that. I was totally expecting to find dope or get some fucking attitude from him or something. How about we start somewhere like that? You treat the authoritarian figure with respect, bite your fucking tongue, give all the shit you're supposed to have, and then drive away.
I agree. But every black guy I know tells this is where like everybody says like in restaurants they say black people don't tip as well, so I kind of believe it. Every black guy I know tells me the same experience. Not that cops are always bad to them, but there's something when you get pulled over. There's this weird adversarial thing that happens, and I don't understand it because it doesn't happen to me. I don't feel it.
I think it's because of what the cops see on a daily fucking basis.
Okay, and the black guy's argument would be, well, this is the way we get treated on a daily basis. Like you're saying, just be polite. And I agree with you. And let's say, yeah, but that's easier for you to say because you don't get pulled over 2 or 3 times or 5 times more when you're not doing anything wrong. Then you start to get annoyed.
Well, if the culture of crime and violence would stop, then in time, perhaps they wouldn't get pulled over 5 or 10 times. But there's a culture of violence and crime and a complete lack of respect for the law that goes on. Yet the first people on calling 911 and want the cops there when the guns start firing is the people in black community go, we don't have enough police in the area. And then they show up and they get shit thrown at them.
I know. I don't. Yeah. Again, I agree. But their argument would be, if the police were nice to us when they pulled us over, we would. I'm just telling you, that's what.
Well, I think it's got to start somewhere. Start with having your proper shit.
Yeah.
Not having dope in your car, and fucking abiding by the laws. Maybe then, when a few cops, after a while, are pulling people over and realize nothing's going on, maybe then they won't pull over as much. But when they pull over a lot and statistically, they're pulling drugs out of the car, getting a guy with warrants, maybe finding a gun. Maybe then when they pull you over, that's why they're not being nice. You know?
Yeah, I agree, and I disagree a little bit, but I agree kind of.
I see your point. I do, but it's got to start somewhere, and that's why I said chicken or egg. It's like, who's got to change first? The cops, by the way, have to go through so much sensitivity training now, and they get crucified for doing anything that's deemed racist or violent. Their emotions are not supposed to come into play when they work. Meanwhile, they're taking their life into their hands in a lot of situations, and they have changed the culture of the police department. Not totally, believe me, there's still plenty of thugs in there, but they've changed the culture where they want to try to respect the communities more and stuff. But the black community seems to have only gotten more kind of fuck you to the police.
See, and my instinct is just to agree with you, because I'm pretty pro-cop, is just to go, fuck them. Like,
I know.
But it couldn't be 100% one way in any of it. It just can't be. It doesn't make sense to me.
I know. And there's a couple of cases. There's a SWAT team, I think it was in Arizona, that burst into some guy's house, an ex-soldier, and just shot the shit out of this guy for no fucking reason. I don't know why that happens. And then another guy works in a pharmacy, and I'm getting a lot of this because a lot of people like NRA dude is saying this. Well, there were a couple of robbers ran into a pharmacy, both of them armed. Pharmacist, licensed to carry, pulls out his gun, shoots one of the guys. Chases the other guy out the door trying to shoot him, comes back. The first guy now is laying on the ground. He is no longer a fucking threat. It's all on video. It's all on fucking camera. Laying there, no longer on threat. This motherfucker, a pharmacist, actually turns his back on the guy, kind of proving that he wouldn't think he's a threat. He wouldn't turn his back on the guy.
Right.
Walks up to him, bop, 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 just starts firing shots into the guy. I'm not going to defend the pharmacist on that account. I love the fact that he initially shot the guy. I love the fact that he chased the other guy out there. But then you get on the phone, call the cops, and have them deal with it. You can't then become the executioner and fucking kill the guy as he's laying there. The threat situation changes by the split second when you're in any kind of gun confrontation. And you have to take that into consideration, or you're going to end up in prison. And I'm not going to defend this pharmacist because he went way over the line on that. And, because people were asking me to react to that one. But it's another deal where it's like, I'm not on the side of the guy that's just, hey, I'm the guy that's going to fucking take care of crime here. Yeah, that guy wasn't reacting properly.
And it will change. It will change. I think when no one is alive who remembers any of this stuff, that will be a huge step in it. But again, after watching that documentary, and it's like so many you've seen, there's no way the country goes from being the way it was for hundreds of years, and then just to that in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, to all of a sudden 50 years later, boy, blacks are given anything, and they're just these entitled animals. It's like it couldn't be that. That's just, it doesn't make sense.
But white culture has changed. White culture has changed. Yet black culture from the 50s till now, we were looking at a lot of nonviolent protests with Martin Luther King, and now white culture has changed over that short period of time in how they're treating the black community.
Even though Malcolm X was right above Martin Luther King.
Right.
And I think Martin Luther King would have got more stuff done, but Malcolm X's attitude, fuck you. He was right. I mean, look at how you feel about radical Islam or whatever. Can you imagine if somebody said, look, the Muslims are here, just be nice, and they were continually...
Just be nice.
But you would, and just, like, whatever Muslim
You'd
guys...
say, fuck you, yeah.
You'd go, fuck you. Like, and that's just a small group. Imagine if it was the majority.
But white culture has changed as far as its perception of black people, as far as its acceptance. And by acceptance, I don't mean, look, oh, wow, aren't we amazing? We accepted them. No, that's what should have happened. And it did. It did happen to the point where, like I say, we have a half black president, but close enough. But black culture seems to have went more the other way. Because they're allowed to now without the thought of, there's prison, obviously, yes, but there aren't lynchings on a massive scale. There aren't beatings because you're walking down the street with a white girl on that huge scale I'm talking about. You're still going to get instances.
Sure.
So when does that balance out?
Let's say this. You're dating a girl, and you're pretty good to her.
Yeah.
And she's fucking other guys the whole time.
Right.
And then she stops. And she goes, see, I'm not fucking other guys anymore. And then every time you think about it, go, you fucking cunt. She's like, what do you mean? I stopped. like she gets mad at you for having a residual resentment or annoyance.
I like your
that she was fucking other guys, and her attitude is, "Hey, I'm being good now," and you're like, "You fucking twat! You should have been good the whole time."
No, I like your analogy, but that's not how it happened. I'll use your same analogy with the way it did happen. You guys are together. You're 16 years old. You like this chick, and she's fucking other guys.
Yay.
And you're like, God, but I like it, whatever. And then as she grows a little older, over the course of many years, you two remain together. Maybe you broke up, you got together again. And then by the time she reaches 30, she's not fucking other guys anymore. She gradually realized, I'm maturing. This old life that I had was kind of youthful and I was kind of crazy. You stuck with me, and now I'm not fucking anyone. It's not a massive, I stopped fucking everybody.
But the innocence of growing up and turning 30 and just realizing your youthful mistakes doesn't go. If we're going to use the two as a comparison, the vindictiveness of what was happening here for so long.
You're still going to resent.
Oh,
it wasn't an innocent thing like, white people just happen to do better on their test scores. Even Steven,
Wait, who's the one getting fucked? Blacks or whites? Who's doing the fucking? Wait a minute.
To me, for the comparison between race and the relationship,
yes.
The relationship chick, she has to be fucking other people and then just annoyed that you still think about it after she has decided to stop.
Okay.
And eventually you do have to move on, though.
And then you got to lick her pussy clean.
If you're in a shitty relationship like that, you
have to clean the pussy.
Eventually fucking move on.
Let's clean the
like
pussy.
a cuckold. You have to lick it. It all this comes back to that.
Why don't we take a break here? We got a retired NYPD. We got a firefighter on the line. If they could stay through the break, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
And we could continue with this. We got to talk about Jim Norton. He's in the paper today.
Yes. For racist behavior.
That's right.
I was egging black people in my building.
Egging.
I thought you were the guy on the Upper East Side. No, that wasn't you?
Oh, but he
forced the fucking
old broad.
Jesus. We'll talk about that after the break, because that's going to be a whole nother discussion.
Jesus.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of Norton, Drew Boogie just handed this in.
Oh,
yeah.
Gun crime, things like this, gang-related violence. It's going to be minorities.
Tell them to behave. I want to see you make a movie called Rolling for Behave. Rolling for Behave. Tell them to behave. I want to see you make a movie called Rolling for Behave. Somehow, white people are all responsible. It ain't whitey. It ain't whitey. And right by my home, I'm looking at a home invasion. It ain't whitey. You fat fuck. Make a movie called Rolling for Behave. Tell them to behave. I want to see you make a movie called Rolling for Behave. Rolling for Behave. Tell them to behave. I want to see you make a movie called Rolling for Behave.
Black on black crime, black on white crime. LA gangs just wiping each other out. Black on black crime, black on white crime.
Fucking behave. How about you do that? Make a movie called Rolling for Behave. Tell them to behave. I want to see you make a movie called Rolling for Behave. Rolling for Behave. Tell them to behave. I want to see you make a movie called Rolling for Behave. Rolling for Behave. Tell them to behave. I want to see you make a movie called Rolling for Behave. Rolling for Behave. Tell them to behave. I want to see you make a movie called Rolling for Behave.
Gregorio! Antonio!
Amy.